All right, next, James, he says, I bought a lot of links, which I shouldn't have, which are keyword heavy, like 2,000 links. What is the best way to deal with them? Google tanked my site 30 to 40 positions. Wow. Will a press release help dilute these anchor text profile? This is a client site. We have a lot of G-stacks done already from another service. Wondering which MGYB products I can order that will help me out of the mess here. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, yeah, press releases will absolutely help with that. One will likely not do it because you said like 2,000 links, right? Right in your question or your comment. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Which is, by the way, guys, this is precisely why we talk about and we call our methods what we call the SEO shield, because we build this shield, right? Like an SEO firewall essentially around our money site, right? All of our SEO shield assets, entity assets are all interlinked and linked back to the money site. But all the link building that we do is to the tier one entity assets, the SEO shield properties, which include syndication networks, DriveStack, G-Site, ID page, Press Advantage, organization page, all of that stuff. So if you were going to be building links with like 2,000 links with anchor text, keyword anchor text links, you'd want to be building those to your tier one entity assets, not to your money site, which is why we call it the SEO shield, because you can hammer an SEO shield with links and it will not hurt your site. It will, power up your entity assets, which flows through to your site, but it cleans it, because that's what we always called link laundering, right? Because you can push spammy links to an SEO shield, to a Google property or a real high authority property, like an ID page on that's hosted on an Amazon S3 bucket, and it will essentially filter out any bad juju, right? Any negative, any bad, potential for bad, link juice flowing through to your site, right? You still get the power, but it doesn't, none of the negative effects flow through, which is why we do that. And that's why we call it the SEO shield, because it shields your site from any potential spam issues that could occur when you build links directly to your money site, like what James did. Okay. So getting back to the question, will press releases help? Yes, that would be one of the first things that I would recommend. One press release will not do it if you've got 2,000 links. You're probably going to need a handful of press releases. So I would recommend doing a couple things. In your press release, just submit one URL as your target URL within the press release. And I would do more than one. I'd do as many as it takes. You're probably going to need at minimum of at least 3 press releases, but probably even more, because you said you got 2,000 links. I'm going to talk about something else that you could do here in just a moment. But press releases, if you're going to be linking to your money site directly, in this case, you probably would want to start diluting the over-optimized anchor text ratios. But just link back with the naked URL, so URL anchor, or your brand name, or combination of the two, but nothing else. Right? You don't want to link back with any sort of keywords. You could do generic keywords or miscellaneous anchor text, which is another term for generic, like website, learn more, that kind of stuff. But I would recommend just going with brand and or naked URLs. If you do a backlink analysis on your site and a lot of your competitors' site, what I've, for local, I don't know, you said it's a client site, so I'm assuming it's local. For local stuff in the industry I'm in, I find it almost, it's almost always brand and URL anchors that are pointing to the homepage anyway of the site. The vast majority of links are either are homepage links, and they're brand and or URL anchors. So I've just been mimicking that for a lot of my local stuff lately. I didn't really care much about link building in the past very much, but I've gotten a lot more back into that recently. And so I try to hit most of my homepage with just brand and or URL anchors. And then you only need a couple of, if you can get, exact match anchors to hit your site to get it to rank well. So in your case, like I said, I would do it several press releases, publish a press release, give it 2 or 3 weeks, publish another one. But I would go with URL or brand anchors. All right. The second part of that, which I know some people are probably going to disagree with me here, but you can always disavow stuff. Right. And I've done it. In fact, I just submitted a disavow file for one of my client sites about 2 weeks ago now, because I found in February, I was doing a backlink analysis on their site, and for whatever reason in February, they got hit with 49 different domains. It was several hundred links that came from total of 49 referring domains that were all Russian .ru domains. And it was weird because it's like somebody tried to negative SEO their site, but they did it in a very strange way because they just used random anchor text. So essentially the anchor text category would be miscellaneous anchor text, or people also call it generic. But it was just random stuff. It wasn't anything harmful at all. I still disavowed every one of those. I disavowed those domains, the 49 referring domains, specifically because they were all from Russia. And it doesn't make sense to hit a local based company with a bunch of Russian links, a US local company. So I disavowed all of those, but that's something you can do that can help, reduce that. Especially if you said you dropped 30 to 40 positions, Google knows that you got hit with a bunch of those links. You can disavow those, and I know there's going to be people that say never disavow. Whatever, to each their own. I do it when I need to, or when I feel it's necessary. And in the case that I was just mentioning about a client site that got hit with those Russian links, or links from Russian domains, that were, again, I did that out of a precaution. It did not affect the site negatively, but I took a precautionary measure and disavowed them anyways. So, do your own due diligence, whether you want to do that or not. I do it when I feel it's necessary. Okay.
Yeah. And for the future, buy that SEO shield and build the links to those SEO shield properties.
Correct. Go to mgyb.co and get the original Drive Stack and G site builds, not from a third-party vendor that doesn't do it the way that we do it.